Hello, hip and knee rescue people. Long time coming, but I'm finally giving you your band workout as promised after the workshop. So if you don't already have your red and your green band and you're ready to work out, then go get them and just wait, stop the video, come back when you're ready. Remember that the red band is much more dense, and so that is going to be stronger resistance, which you might want for certain things. The green band is a little less resistance, and that might be preferable, especially if we're putting it on the feet or something, which you're going to see. You also have the option of using the two of them together if you get super, super strong and these do not provide enough resistance. Put them together and oh boy, you will have lots of resistance. So another thing I want to just remind you of as we go into these exercises is that even though I'm going to do 10 of everything with you, that's just kind of an example. If you can do more, please go ahead and do more. If that's just too many, then that's too many, okay? Our goal is not how many repetitions we do. Our goal is to fatigue our muscles, but we want to do that with precise movements. It's really about using how to use our hips in efficient, mechanically sound positions so that we can stop insulting them, right, with our movements. So we're trying to learn good movement habits, and we're trying to get stronger in those habits by using some resistance when we do that. So another thing I want to remind you about are some of the actions we'll be working with. So we're going to work with hip extension, hip flexion. We'll work with this dialing out, and then we'll work with abduction, this action at the hips, and we'll work with adduction. Abduction and adduction, those kind of movements are really going to train our hip stabilizers. Those flexion and extension movements make us better walkers, and most of the things we do in life are in those directions. Okay, so let's get our band. I know a lot of you had knee issues, so those of you who have painful knees, you can always work with the bands above the knees. Once you get stronger, you can start working with the band below the knees. Okay, so we're going to start with hip extension. Okay, and I'm going to begin with my red band because I can. Maybe you're going to prefer the green one, but I'm going to go into hip extension. And hip extension looks like this. Now, this leg is going to be extending. This leg I'm going to be stabilizing, and then I'm going to switch. The leg I'm stabilizing, I need to dial that knee out. So it looks like this from the front. I'm standing on that leg and then dialing it out. Do you see that knee movement? And that's going to help me be really steady on this leg. That's a good habit to have. So let me demonstrate, okay? Are you ready to work with me? Hands can be on the hips, or you can have a finger on the wall if you're a little unstable, okay? Let's get that leg charged up. Spin this leg inward, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, really squeeze, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and then we'll do the other leg. Dial it out, load the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, abs are strong, 9 and 10. Okay, if you can do 2 or 3 sets of those. I'm going to show you a different version of hip extension though. We could take the green band and we could work all the way down from the feet. I'm going to use my standing leg. See, the band is around my ankle. My other foot, yeah, I've got it around my foot. You could also put it around your ankle. I think it stays better if I do it this way. Once again, I'm going to dial it out. And then I'm going to go 1. Now my whole leg is working. My hip, my knee, even my ankle. And I'm going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now I'm going to just put that around my ankle, put this one around my instep, dial out my foot or dial out my knee, and then extend my hip. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Do more if you want to do more. All right, so that's hip extension. Remember, you can work with the red or the green band. Now we're going to work with hip flexion. And I'll begin with my red band above my knees. Now, once again, I'm going to be standing on one leg, moving with the other. So I want to set up my standing leg and then flex my hip. Hands can go on the hips if you want, finger on the wall if you want. 1, 2, 3, I'm not in a hurry. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'll turn to the side so you can watch from the side this time. Dialing this knee out, got my leg ready, I'm tall on my hip. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Woo! And sometimes the band is going to roll up like that. And you might even find that with certain pants and whatnot, so you'll have to figure that out. So now I'm going to show you flexion and extension at the knee. Okay, and I'll begin with, the green band, definitely. Usually when we're working below the knee, we're going to use the green band. So what we'll do here is knee extension, which looks like that when I straighten my knee. That's knee extension, okay? Now, I could keep the band up kind of mid-thigh like this. This would make it a little bit easier. And we could do knee extension this way, okay? But I would recommend, and feel free to try it that way. I'm gonna take it all the way down here. So I'm stepping on it with my instep, and I've got it around my ankle. Once again, one finger on the wall if you like. Dialing out with this knee and extend my knee. Okay, it's quite a lot of resistance, and you are in total control of that. This is knee extension. And we'll do 2 and 1, okay? And now I'll just put that around my instep, put it around my other knee. Dial the knee out, and here we go. Extending the knee. 2, 3. See how active my foot is? My foot cannot go to sleep here. I need my foot to be active. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, so remember, you can do as many as you need to do. All right, next. So that's knee extension. Now we'll work with knee flexion, which is this. It's going to really work on the hamstrings here. So once again, I'm going to put the band around my instep on my standing leg, ankle on my lifted leg. And I'm going to actually bring my thigh back a little bit. I want to hold everything strong. Standing leg dials the knee out, okay? And then I'm going to kick my heel toward my seat. You can probably see my hamstring bunching up. You know what? A lot of times people just stretch their hamstrings, but they need strengthening too. Okay, let's do 3, 2, and 1. All right, and I'll switch legs. Put it around my working ankle and stand on it with my other instep. And we go. Take the thigh back, dial it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so that's flexion and extension of the hips. So each one of those exercises you could do multiple times, as many as you need to feel the fatigue in the muscles, okay? Now we're gonna work with something I call dialing it out. Now, I have a fair bit of experience with this. I'm gonna use my red band, but you're welcome to use your green band, okay? Now, I'm gonna step through and I will begin above my knee. Again, this is for those of you who have really sensitive knees, who can't handle the resistance on the knees right now, all right? And I'm gonna step my feet apart, but my toes are still mainly forward, and I'm grounding down through my great toes and my great toe mountain. I'm gonna squat down a little bit, okay? So if you're up here, you're still gonna feel it. Down here, a little bit more. You'll have to work a little bit harder. And all we're doing is pressing the knees out. I call it dialing out because we don't wanna be doing this with the feet. My feet are gonna stay grounded. And as you glance down at your feet, keep your great toe grounded, great toe mound as well. You're gonna see that your arch of your foot is gonna lift. So this is actually very important activation you're doing. So I'm gonna dial it out, take it out as far as you can every time. And let's do 3, 2, and 1. Now, option is to do one side at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Other side, 1, 2. See how I'm dialing it out. I'm just up on the ball of my foot here because that facilitates that spin a little more. And dial it out. Okay, very nice. Now, you could also do that below the knee. So if you want to stimulate the knee, want to work the tissues around the knee a little more, that's how you could do it. All right, so similar setup. Toes are straight ahead, and now I'm dialing it out. So you might find that, one is more difficult than the other, and it could surprise you. I would myself, if I did it below the knee, I would squat down a little bit deeper just to challenge myself a little bit more. So let's all do 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then we could choose to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so that is dial it out. Again, you could do multiple sets of that if you want. Now, we're gonna work with abduction and adduction. Abduction is when we take our legs apart from each other. Adduction is when we take them across, okay? I'll work with abduction first. So I would begin with the band above the knee. You can use the green band if you want. And we could just keep it simple. We could side step, okay? You've probably seen this before. And a lot of people who use the bands, this is what they use it for, just this very thing. Okay, but we have actually lots of options here. So we could do that in 2 steps, just for fun. And we could stand on one leg and do one side at a time. Okay, so remember, anytime you're standing on one leg, you're dialing the knee outward, outward. Okay? And we could switch legs, okay? So any way you want to do it, what I recommend is you put on some really fun music and just let your imagination inspire you, okay? So single leg, double leg, and or one leg at a time, okay? All of those options. And of course, there's lots of levels to this one. So we could work below the knee now, same variety, okay? Single legs, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ooh, now I really feel that in my butt. Okay, so now here's your last option. And this would be with the green band, probably, at least at first. And I'm putting it around my insteps. Our options are all the same, but it feels a lot different because now we are involving the knees a bit more and the ankles and our whole leg, which is our lever, right? So we can go sidestepping. And I kind of like to play around with this one. You can see if you like that, coming down a little bit lower. Again, you could go 2 foot or 2 times in a row, 2 steps in a row. And we'll do 1 more of those. And probably already fatigue setting in if you're like me. And I'm gonna hold it right there. Give yourself a little break. And then we'll stand on 1 foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That one requires a bit more balance, so you could always have a finger on the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so they all feel a little bit different. You can choose the ones that are working best for you because you feel like you've got good control. You can be precise right up until that point where you're too fatigued to do another repetition. Okay, so it's great to take a little break and then start all over again. And now we'll go to our final band exercise, which is this adduction. So adduction means kind of coming into the midline and maybe even crossing the midline. And you can see we can do that forward or back. So that's what we'll do. We'll start with the band. So actually you could work at one of 2 levels. A little bit higher up is a little bit easier, okay? You could have a finger on the wall, take your leg in front, take it around the back. Okay, and the idea here is to really squeeze it across. So if you want to work a bit harder, you need more of a challenge, then get the band down around your ankles. All right, so you can choose which level and we'll get started. So we want to go cross in front, cross in back, that's 1. Cross in front, cross in back, that's 2. Finger could be on the wall or hands on the hips. Squeeze it across. And you know, the band is giving you a little bit of resistance. I've tried this with the red band. It's pretty challenging, so be my guest. 2 more maybe. Forward and back. You can see that largely your standing leg is working really hard too. Let's try the other side. And the bands do tend to work their way up or down depending on the exercise, so sometimes you have to adjust that. And here we go, across in front and across behind. Finger on the wall if you need. Take your time, make sure your core is engaged. We're always working with foot to core. This is the thing about knee and hip injuries. We have to learn how to activate from the ground up so that we're really kind of the whole chain is active, not just the muscles around one joint. Okay, let's do 2 more and 1 more. All right, that's great. Okay, so that's a very quick run through. If you want to go back to the top and run through it again, I highly recommend it, but it won't take you very long to learn these exercises, and then you can just, you know, rip through them any way you want. It doesn't matter if you want to mix them up or whatever, to give yourself a little break, okay? And take your time if you need. And remember, we worked with going really, really, really slow or working a little bit faster. Our goal is always working for precision and fatigue. Okay, so I hope you enjoy revisiting those band exercises. Feel free to message me if anything is not clear, you need a little extra help, or if you need a shot in the arm or a kick in the butt. Okay, thanks so much, guys. Hope everything's going well for you. See you again soon. Bye for now.